This 4th of July, we want to take a minute to talk about one of the most common American dreams, and that is financial freedom. For some people, that means not living paycheck to paycheck. For others, maybe means not having means having more money than you can ever spend, which is not reality. So let's talk about reality. Cathy DeWitt Dunn from DeWitt Dunn here now to help all of us achieve the financial independence, no matter what it is. So let's start with cutting spending. I think there are some obvious ways, but from your perspective, you deal with this every day. So in the broader sense, for everybody out there, where do we look to cut spending right away?
You know what, one of the things that's pretty interesting is how much we spend going on to coffee shops or to restaurants. And there was a recent study that was released by Accounting Principles that said that on average, an individual spends over $21 a week on coffee, and they spend $36 a week on lunch. I mean, that's a great way to start right there.
Right, and that money adds up because you see it as somebody in the financial world, that multiplies, and you see the end result of like a year of not doing that, and it's hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like between $1,200 and $1,500. Yeah, another way to look at it is, and to look at is cable bills and also cell phone bills. One of the things that people don't realize is there's so many data plans out there right now, you might be double paying. So do you really watch all those channels?
It's funny. Well, it's funny you say that about the data thing, because I look at, like, my wife doesn't use nearly what we're paying for, so I have literally dialed it back in our own household, doing the same thing, kind of looking at, because I think you don't tend to look at the bill half the time.
You don't.
Credit cards. This is a touchy question for so many. It's where so many people dive off the deep end and get so far in debt that they can't get out. Do you need more than one credit card, or do you need one at all?
You know what, debt really isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's on a mortgage or student loans or things like that, but I think you need to make sure that you know how much you're spending, and some people have such a big temptation to just whip out the credit card and use it. So if you put them away and you only use cash, you can't really spend what you don't have. So that's a really good way to get your budget under control and your savings.
Even for young people, though, isn't it true, though, today you have to have a credit rating to kind of be in the world, I guess. So don't you need a credit card? But clearly you need to be responsible with it, but you need one, right?
You need at least one, but you need to pay it off on a monthly basis.
Okay, so if you don't have the money in the bank to pay it off, don't spend it.
Exactly.
Right. Last question, real simple. The challenge of putting money aside. We've talked about ways to do it with coffee, things like that. I've heard the term in the past, write yourself a check first when you get paid every week or 2 weeks or whatever your pay cycle is. What do you term, I guess, putting money aside? How do you start somebody on that plan?
You know, most of my clients that I work with, they end up doing auto draft and putting it into savings on a weekly or monthly basis, because once you start putting it away, if it's out of sight, out of mind, you won't touch it. And, you know, you need to have a savings and you need to have a backup plan, and that's a way to begin.
Right. Good job. Cathy, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Enjoy your holiday weekend.
Thank you.